accidents. Interior care also cleans other surfaces such as carpet, upholstery, leather, and drapes. The training's up to you. Leave the cleaning to us.
Right now, get a Kubota Z200 Series mower with the new K-Ride Comfort System for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months.
Visit your local Kubota dealer, Kubota of Chattanooga, 2628 Rossville Boulevard in Chattanooga.
Many of you this morning might be spending your weekends driving around looking for a home to buy. Spring, traditionally anyway, has been a big seller's market across the country. Sabrena Smedley joins us this morning. Of course, you know her with Sabrena Realty here in town. She herself actually is in the process of moving, changing locations, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're very excited. I had an office there in East Brainerd from 2007 till recently. I did sell that. They're going to be tearing 4 parcels down and putting in a Weigel's convenience store.
Oh, wow.
So we just recently moved over to Lee Highway. It's a great location. We'd love for folks to come out and check us out. As a matter of fact, we're going to have an open house April the 25th starting at 5 p.m. and it's just going to be a client appreciation. Stop by and check out the new office.
Well, so you know it anyway from just your own life, but you know really firsthand now what it is like though to go through the sale and the relocation.
Oh, yes.
It's a big, big, stressful time in a person's life.
It really is. And the last time I sold my home and moved, I said, I'm going to keep this right here at the forefront of my mind and remember what my buyers go through, my sellers go through when they have to move.
So let's talk about it a little bit, because I mentioned how springtime used to be the time that people wanted to get their house listed. I don't think that's totally the case anymore. But is it still a seller's market,
It
Sabrena?
is still a seller's market, and you are correct. Statistically, April is the month when most folks that are thinking about selling, they do list their home.
Okay.
So you're correct in what you're thinking, but it is still a seller's market. We still have quite a bit of demand out there. And what I tell folks is what we're seeing is the market is actually normalizing. Last year it was hyperinflated. I might list a home and within 24 hours I may have 16 offers on a home. And so many buyers got frustrated.
Yeah.
And they just stopped looking because there was so much competition, and if you're getting a loan you can't compete with cash buyers. And we saw folks making offers $50,000 above list price, not even getting an appraisal or an inspection. So I would assume we may see some buyer's remorse from some of those buyers that bought last year, but there's not that much demand now, and it's really a good time for buyers too, not just sellers.
I would think that those years, because it was a couple of years of that hyper inflation, as you say, I would think that would have been a challenge on your profession too, because you make relationships with your clients.
Absolutely.
That had to have been heartbreaking for you sometimes.
It was, and you really want to look out for your clients,
Yeah.
and you want to give them the best advice. And you want them to get a good deal, especially if you're working with a buyer. You want them to get a good deal when they make that purchase. You want that to be a good investment for them, so that one day when they sell that home again, they're going to make some money and have quite a bit of equity. But it was so hard last year because when buyers wanted to bid above the asking price and not get an inspection and not get an appraisal, I had to tell them, I can't advise you to do that because, and I'll just look at it, if the house is meant for you, it's going to work out. Let's say a prayer about it and move forward.
Okay, so let's go back to that word normalization, because really that's a positive word for the balance of everything. If you're out there and maybe you've been in your house for 20 years and you were hoping to make a lot of profit on it, chances are you've got adult children who are looking to buy a house. They can't afford it if things are hyperinflated.
That's right. We have a real problem here in our area with affordability. The prices have gone up so much, and I don't think they're going to come back down. I don't think they're going to keep going up significantly like they were, but I don't think that we're going to see the prices come down, and affordability is a challenge. That's why developers, I'm all for developers getting tax abatements or a payment in lieu of tax if they go into a blighted area, take on significant risks to sell a product that is more affordable, because that is such a challenge, and if we don't deal with that, it's going to be very hard for younger folks as they're graduating from college, entering the workforce, to be able to buy a home.
What about the cash offers that you hear about?
Yeah,
what do you
those are real. I mean, they're real. You have folks from other areas like California. We've seen an influx of people moving here from California, Seattle, and they sold their homes for cash, and they're coming here and spending their cash. They're coming to Chattanooga. It's where they're choosing to live. And so it's hard for buyers that are getting a loan to compete with that cash buyer.
So so at your realty office,
yes,
you see buyers come through the door, you see sellers come through the door. They need different types of representation, if you will, from their realtor.
That's right, that's right. And it's so important. That's why I tell everybody, I think first of all, choose a local realtor and choose someone that's been in the business a long time, because there's so many different challenges. Even now, you hear that the interest rates keep going up. So buyers think, okay, I can't afford to buy a house right now. That's not necessarily true, because there are ways to work around that. I work with lenders who are vying to get their business, and they're going to figure out a way to buy down that rate. We can even ask the sellers, you know, make a very strong offer, ask the sellers to contribute back so much towards closing costs and use that money to buy down the rate. So for anyone that's heard the rates are going up and they're thinking about buying a house this year, do not be discouraged. But call a realtor that knows how to navigate through that process and work around it. That's so important. And for sellers too, it's so important to choose someone that has experience, someone that knows what really sells a home. Like I tell all my sellers, I use a very conservative approach when I come in and do a free consultation. I'll come in and look at their home, make recommendations of how they maybe should stage their home, and upgrades that they may need to do that will really sell that home and bring them more money. But I use a very conservative approach, because I've had sellers in the past think they need to remodel their kitchen, and I've said, don't do that.
That's a personal preference.
Right. Don't do it. You won't get your money back dollar for dollar. Just let's price the home where it needs to be priced, and let the buyers come in and put their taste into the house.
So if people do want to come by and see your new space, I know that it's probably a little bit more for the profession than it is necessarily for the average person looking for a home. But if they want to contact you now, do they just need to call you, or can they go to your new location?
They can call me at 423-499-7780, or they can come by anytime at 6025 Lee Highway, Suite 449. And one thing I do want to say, for anybody out there selling a home, be careful, because you've got a lot of folks coming into this market offering to buy the home for cash. And I met with a little couple just recently, and they had me come out, and they had signed a one-page contract with someone from out of town that was going to buy their house for cash. And when I ran the numbers on their home, I did a market analysis to see what their home was worth. It was worth $100,000 more than what they had been offered. And I sent them to a real estate attorney, and they were bound in a contract to sell their home at a very low price. So be careful. If things sound too good to be true, they probably are. And that's when you really need to call an experienced realtor that's going to look out for you.
Who's local.
Yeah.
All right, here's her number again, 499-7780, online, SabrenaRealty.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Spring into savings at Ashley's Midnight Madness. Friday, we're open late just for you.